Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino, and I'm joined as well with Amanda Bryan. Today we're talking about the first two episodes of Survivor 42. We weren't able to record after the first premiere, so we wanted to talk about the first two episodes. But first, if you could give us a like, subscribe, means a lot to us. Um, but overall, what did you think about the first two episodes?
I thought the first one was really good. I enjoyed the opening to 42, just like I did 41. I was a big fan of the opening of 41, and I feel like I'm the same way with 42. I liked the first advantage that they gave us, where the three people in the competition all together. They've never done that before, and I liked that. And then the second episode of 42 was okay, a little not as exciting as the first. Obviously, nothing's exciting as a premiere, but still was really character building and got us some more insight on people. So I did like that.
Yeah, I think the premiere was really good. We did miss some stuff that I would have liked to seen. I would have liked to seen the people have to explain why they were covered in mud and blood to the tribe mates. I would have liked to seen them return to from shipwreck Shipwheel Island to talk about what they did there. We those things would have been nice to see. I know that they can only fit so much in, but I'm nitpicking here.
I mean, I didn't mind it. I mean, I know that, like you said, there's so much that they have to fit in at the same time. So I understand that. I care more about knowing the people in the first two episodes, and I think so far they've done a good job of that because there's a lot of people, and I feel like there's only a few contestants or characters that we really haven't heard a bunch from yet. But I feel like they've done a pretty good, a good way of covering a lot of people pretty intimately
Mm,
without having to spend too. I mean, we saw some really good competitions and things like that, but I mean, some great personalities too.
yeah, for sure. Uh, so we'll just start right from the premiere. We get to see them. This is pretty much season 41.5. They literally have almost copied what they did in Survivor 41. The only thing they haven't changed, I don't think anything so far. They added the first advantage in, but other
Yep,
than that, everything else has been the same.
yep,
Uh,
everything else is the same so far. I do really enjoy like I like this cast because they all look like normal people. They're not, super hot Instagram models. They're not really dumb or ditzy people. It seems like everyone is just like normal or looks normal or is relatable. And I think this season is going to give us a really good feel to it because of that. We don't feel like these people are fake.
yeah, I that's my biggest gripe with uh dating shows. Like they're all
Yeah,
supermodels. You never see some chunky gamer dude
no,
or
ever.
some alternative girl. Nope, they're all the bombshell supermodel types, and it's pretty boring.
Because sometimes those people have no personality, and you shouldn't cast somebody based. I mean, you have to cast someone based off their personality. You can't always do it off their looks. I will agree that there's been tons of Survivor contestants who've had it all: looks, strategy, social game. There's arguably a lot of not a lot, but a fair few Survivor contestants that have that. We'll say Parvati's one of them. But not everyone can have all three. And sometimes I feel like basing your pick off of just beauty is not the way to go.
I think they should cast one or two people just because of their looks. I think that's
Yeah,
fine, but like when you do a vast majority of the cast, we've seen that Big Brother and Survivor, it does not work.
it
Like
doesn't
one
work.
to two is fine because you want eye candy on the screen. I understand that. Eye candy is always good to have on the screen, but if you cast the whole cast around that, it doesn't work out.
Exactly.
Um, do you have so we got three tribes again. Do you prefer the two, right? Correct?
I do. I don't like, I mean, I don't like three tribes because I feel like this is just strictly viewing. I feel like when you're a viewer, a casual viewer of Survivor, which we'll say is easily makes up 75 to 80% of Survivor viewership. I would say 1 out of every 5 Survivor contestants are probably super fans. You know what I mean? Like me and you. Whereas, the rest of the majority of them are not. And so for me, I feel like 3 tribes is harder to keep track of. It's hard to keep a track of who's on who. It's harder to keep track of, which ones have won first place, second place, so on and so forth. And you don't get to know them as well. Where I feel like with 2 tribes, there is the same amount of people, but you're easily able to categorize them into 2 piles in your brain easily versus 3. And so it's easier for you to get to know these people because you're like, okay, they're on the purple tribe and they're on the orange tribe. I know that. I don't have to think of the purple tribe and the green tribe and the orange tribe. I can just think of 2 and then separate the contestants by either this or this.
Right.
I just think it makes it easier that way.
Yeah. So we'll just go over the tribes real quick. We have Ika, the blue tribe. They have Zach, Drea, Tori, Romeo, Roxroy, and Swati. And we picked this group to be the tribe that goes to tribal the most. The mess tribe.
Struggle.
Yes. And right off the gate, they win the first challenge.
I know.
But I see this is where I'm a little annoyed with it is they have a challenge. The reward is getting your flint and machete first, right? They have a challenge. The tribe gets their machete and flint first. And then they go to the camp and they have uh the same choices like as season 41.
Yeah, with the
Fill it
triangles.
the triangles or fill it up, but instead of 2, they have 1. It's like they wanted that puzzle to be used. They're like, Look, we took all this time to make this puzzle. It needs to be used, so we
Yeah.
gotta make sure everyone uses it." So of course they do the puzzle, but then that challenge became mute because everybody got their stuff anyways.
Yes.
It was just like it
They
was
weren't.
so unnecessary.
They're still trying too hard with the theme of trying to earn it. You understand what I mean? Like they're thinking too hard about that part of the theme. I feel like that part of the theme wasn't so big in Survivor 41. Yeah, it was part of the season, but it wasn't the main part of the season.
Yeah. So the Green Tribe Vati, um, we have Lydia, Chanel, Jenny, Mike, Daniel, and Hai. So Mike actually pulled a really decent move right away because he's like, "Look, I'm the biggest guy in this tribe, and I don't want to be by myself. So I gotta convince these people to do the triangles," which he did, which I completely understand. Who wants
Yep.
to be on an island by themselves for hours while everybody gets to talking about it?
Nobody, exactly.
So I actually have 2 of my draft picks on the Green Tribe,
Very nice.
and
I know I have
and
a
and they're a duo, so I'm super excited about that. This
very
is
nice.
a tribe of duos.
It is.
Uh,
I've
we
never
have
seen.
we have Daniel, Chanel, Mike, Jenny, Hai, and Lydia.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how
Couldn't
that
go.
tribe moves forward. Um, then we have the Orange Tribe, Taku, and we have Mariah, Jackson, Lindsay, Jonathan, Marianne, and Omar.
Yep.
So we got the most from this tribe was from Jackson. And
Yes.
obviously for obvious reasons. He got pulled from the game. It sucks that happened. I know you weren't a big fan of it, but
No, I think it's bullshit to bring someone all the way out there and have them go through that whole process. It's a long process to be cast on Survivor. It's a long process. And for him to withhold medical information days before they were to leave, that's just, I don't know.
it wasn't days before they leave, they were already out there. It was like days before they start shooting. Like a day or 2 before they start shooting.
Okay, days before they started shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were already out there and
Right.
they asked them a few more questions just to do the dot their
Double
I's and
check.
cross their T's. And he's like, "Oh, by the way, da da da." And so
Wait a minute. Yep.
and we got to have we had a really great moment with him talking about his transition from being female to a male, how he bonded with his family after they weren't close and his mother got sick, and him introducing his wife to his parents and them
Mhm.
bonding. So it was really, we had like this big segment of just Jackson, and then like the next segment, he got eliminated.
It was so weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they might have sent the alternates home, and that's why he got to still go on. I feel
Well,
like
I thought it was weird that they did an elimination still. I mean, I know they did two. They had two people go home the first episode of Survivor 41, but this is a little bit different circumstance. I would think that since he got pretty much medvac, that they wouldn't do an elimination, but they still did.
no, this is 41.5, so of course they did.
Yeah. Well,
So so Jackson's gone, and we get to the first immunity challenge,
yep.
and everybody is shocked because they find out Jackson's gone, and clearly this challenge was set up for 6 people
Yeah.
because this challenge was difficult.
It was very difficult.
Uh, so Romeo sat out for Ica, and oh God, I'm drawing a blank who sat out for Vati.
Um,
Daniel didn't, right? No, Daniel went. I forgot who sat out for Vati.
say that tribe again. Oh, was
The
it
green
Jenny?
one. Jenny? Yeah, probably Jenny.
Jenny.
Yeah. So they had to, they like I said, this was clearly set up for 6-person tribe. They had to grab the oars and grab the big luggage, and this is where Jonathan shined because this man was a machine.
Dude,
He
he was beasting through that.
like he was pushing that thing and lifting that thing by himself, and it was just insane to see. He's head and shoulders more physical than everybody there. If they
Oh,
let that man get halfway through the merge, he's not going home.
he's gonna Colby his way through merge if
Mhm.
we get there. I can see that for sure.
Right. And so we end up finding out that Ica is going to tribal. They had the wheel puzzle at the end, and Zach and Zach couldn't do it, and and this is where we get to like the funness of this tribe, which we kind of pictured it would be a little chaos. Earlier in the episode, Zach was talking to Drea, and Drea was like, "I think Tori's looking for Idol," and so Zach told Tori, and then Tori went to go talk to Drea, and he freaked out and was like, "She's throwing me under the bus. She's throwing me under the bus." And on all reality, Drea's like, "Hey, Tori, let's vote out Roxroy."
Fucking
And
perfect.
it was a mess. And Romeo had an alliance with Drea, Roxroy, and then he made a bond with Zach. So he's like, "Yo, I want to keep Zach. Let's get rid of Tori."
I know.
And it was just a fun dynamic to see. It was messy. Obviously, Swati and Roxroy had a decent relationship because on the beach we got to see them kind of discuss the vote. And,
Which is something because they're both. I mean, they're both very very different in age. So you would think that it would be a little bit of divide between the two of them, but apparently not.
yeah, and we thought in the like early on in the episode we see the younger tribe members connect and the older tribe members connect.
Yep.
And so we thought we might see Africa again here going into it, but it ended up not happening that way. So we get to tribal, and as soon as Jeff's like, "You want to say the line?" and he says the fire line. I was like, "Oh God, he's in trouble."
I was like, he's going home. I knew too. I felt the same way when he said that. I was like, bro, you literally just sealed your own fate at that point in time. You can't just go out and confidently repeat the, survivor try. Like, I tell you what, he messed up a lot of people's drafts, I bet, because I bet a lot of people picked him for their drafts.
uh, I knew he was high variant. I was like,
Yeah.
if for a second round I might have got him, but definitely not first round.
Right.
So it does end up being between Tori and Zach because Romeo does convince Drea not to vote out Roxroy. we did forget to mention the shipwreck, the Shipwheel Island's still here. Drea went, Jenny went, and Marianne went. Marianne and Drea risked their votes. Jenny saved her vote.
I
That
tell you what, I think that I hate being this way, but I guarantee that through that whole walk, I just don't see Drea and Marianne getting along. I just don't see that. And to have Drea listen to Marianne talk for the whole summit,
would
because
have
you know
been
that she
so
probably
funny,
did. I bet she was drove insane. She had to have been. I just don't see those two personalities. I could be wrong, but I just don't see those two personalities mixing later on.
right? So, like I said, that segment was very short. It was basically them walking to the island,
That
walking
was.
up and risking and they had like a couple conversations, and then they risked their vote. Like last season, it was like a 30-minute segment, 20-minute segment.
Yes.
This one was
Well,
like
because of influence the game, though. I mean, it was all.
honest.
I mean, hindsight. Everything's hindsight now, you
Yeah.
know. But then Liana and Shan's relationship on that summit influenced a lot of the game,
Mm,
and that's why I'm thinking. That's why I kind of think that like this summit with like Drea, Jenny, and Marianne, they didn't get much for. They don't have much of a relationship from it because they would have really highlighted it if they did. And you're right, they kind of brushed over it a little bit. So
yeah.
that's why something tells me those three are not going to be working together in the future.
No. I do. So we're back at tribal, and I just want to say, thank the Lord, somebody with some fucking sense. I'm gonna say it like that. I don't care. Zach played a shot in the dark. If you know you're in trouble, play your shot in the dark.
Yes, you're not
Thank
going to hurt
God.
anything.
We have seen one person play it last season, and then the first tribal, one person plays the trial because he
Yep,
knows he's in trouble.
that's
Like
right.
so Zach might have put himself in a bad
So
position
we've seen
because
three of them now all together, and
yeah,
all of them have been
and
not
two
safe.
right. So Zach does go home 5-1. He voted
Yep,
for Tory. Uh Look, if Jeff is asking a bunch of questions, you might be in trouble.
that is very, very true. If Jeff asked you to repeat the phrase at tribal, I would just be like, "Nah, bro, I'm not about that juju.
Right.
Not about it."
So we get we get to episode 40 or 42, episode 2, and we do get a lot more from Jonathan. I think Jonathan really shined this episode.
I agree.
Um I
Him
look
and Omar. Oh,
yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of Jonathan. I picked him because the man's the biggest guy by far. And I was like,
oh,
"Oh, this guy's gonna last forever." I thought he was gonna be a douche, but the guy is pretty fun. He's a lot of fun. His relationship with Omar was fun, and he
dude,
had
doesn't it give you like JT and Fishback vibes?
yeah.
It gives me such JT Fishback vibes.
But I feel like Jonathan has more knowledge of the game than JT did.
I
If
agree
that
with
makes
that. I
I
agree with
think
that.
JT's strength was that his personality was so good and he was so good physically. I think Jonathan has that and
Yeah,
he has a little bit mind for the game because you've seen him throughout this episode lead the pack for this episode in his tribe.
yeah, he did.
And uh
I mean, he kept Marianne over Mariah.
all right, yeah. So his relationship with Omar was awesome. His relationship with Lindsay was good too. We had to
Yep,
see his, and he got to describe himself and be out there. Omar talked about his
prayer.
religion, and Marianne made him. I forgot what it's called. I'm so sorry, but something for him to kneel and pray on
Yep, the
with the
grass
leaf.
mat. Yep.
Yeah, so that was very nice.
It was really
Uh,
good. That was a good segment.
Marianne was a lot.
Dude, Marianne has got to be one of the best Survivor castings in the past 10 seasons, and I'm not kidding. Like she is television gold. Like she's so annoying, and they touch on how annoying she is. But I just get like I get a little bit of like JD vibes from her. Like she's very, very confident in her personality. You know, she's very, very confident in the way she's playing the game. And I think that people are not only rubbed off just a little bit by it, but they vibe with it too because they see how passionate she is, and that can
Yeah.
be that can be a benefit itself in the game. That's definitely what Jonathan's seeing in her.
Look, she didn't stop moving throughout this episode. She's always moving, doing something, dancing. Um,
She's
she's
comfortable. She,
yeah,
saying if you need anything, talking to. She broke down crying when Jackson left.
yeah. It was a lot. Yeah, we forgot to mention that she broke down crying, like sobbing when
Sobbing.
Jackson.
Jackson left.
Um, we also do get to see Mike find the beware advantage. 41.5, guys.
And then lose
41.5.
it, and then lose it, and then find it again.
Yeah. So he
Daniel's
told
just sitting there shaking his head like this motherfucker. Like,
Jenny and Daniel, and I think Daniel got to be one of the front runners at this point.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he definitely. I think he is. I think it was smart for him to go to Chanel. That was the smartest person for him to go to because I feel like Chanel would listen to to Daniel and take his word into account more so than like what Roxbury would
Yeah. So
or Mike.
so
My bad, Mike.
yeah. So Mike told Jenny and Daniel, and then Daniel told Chanel.
Yes.
So one of the I never thought about this, and I thought it was such an awesome move by him. Because look, I'm not going to try to get Mike to activate the idols because
Right.
I don't want the idols in the game. So he convinced Mike to not say it. He's like, just in case, made some excuse saying, don't do it so that way no one knows you have it. And he's like, you're right. That's a great plan, Daniel. Da da da. And so he prevents Mike from potentially activating this idol. And it's just a smooth little move that I did not
It
think
was
about
nice.
throughout the
It
first
was
episode
nice.
or season. He knows that he doesn't has a vote, so 3 people controlled the majority on that tribe, and him and Chanel essentially can do whatever they want because I think they're
Whatever
in the
they want,
middle.
which is the best spot to be in this situation.
Mhm. So they vote with Jenny or they can vote with Ty and Lydia.
Hmm.
So it's one of those things that I think this tribe is the most interesting to see where the game falls out.
I agree. I feel like they're not splitting it based off of like age or you know tribe accountability or um
Physical strength
physical
or
challenges, yeah, or even
yeah,
physical challenges. It seems
it's
like
just
it's all mental.
it's
It's
all
all just who
mental.
they feel good with the whole
Yeah,
time.
which is
Hmm.
cool, and it's a lot of
Yes.
them dynamics to see. I think this tribe moving forward is gonna be the tribe to watch. I feel like the winning person is on that tribe.
I agree. I think
There's
so too.
I because I could see easily 4 to 5 of those people winning. I think Jenny's the only one I can't see having a chance to win.
Well, don't rule Jenny out though, because people like Jenny enough to align with her, and
That's
that's
true,
enough. That's enough in
but
itself sometimes.
if I'm ranking, she's my 6th place on that tribe.
Sure, I agree with that. I agree
So,
with that.
and then Lydia, and then it's between probably Mike, then High, then Chanel, and then Daniel.
Oh,
Up
I
to this
would put
point,
Chanel a little bit higher than high, even.
I can see that, but he has the
Yeah.
advantage
She
where
straight up said,
oh
"I'm gonna have to be. I don't want to be the tribe provider, but I'm gonna have to be," is what she said.
yeah, we forgot to talk about the advantage of where they got it from the challenge they made up. So we'll go back to the episode. We're all over the place. Sorry, it's a little late. Uh, they go back. They during the challenge, the it was like a relay race. They go there and they have the option to get advantage, but they all have to agree on it. One person from each tribe. And so they did, and they were a bunch of mud and blood on all over them. And basically, if all of them meet up together at a merge or swap, they get a steal a vote. If two are gone, if one of them gone, it's a or is it no wait, it's
No,
an
if all
extra
three
vote.
of them are there,
Is
it's an idol.
It's an extra vote for if one of for all 3 of them are together. Steal a
Yeah,
vote with just 2 of them, and it's an idle if the other 2 are gone.
right.
So I love that
Like a
advantage.
backward advantage.
Yeah, because it either can push an alliance or it can push an enemy. It's really
Yes.
your choice what you want to do. and it's also your choice to figure out what they're doing. So it's like it's a lot of strategy going on at
It's
that.
a lot of strategy and something to spring on them. I mean, they sprung this on them like the first get.
Yeah, and then Drea has two advantages technically right
She
now.
does. Yep, she has the amulet and she has um
What was it extra vote?
yeah, extra vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to this challenge was a little bit more balanced because it was made for this many people.
Yes. I
So
love this challenge. Do you like this challenge?
I don't mind the challenge. I don't mind it at
I like
all.
this challenge. Why they didn't put Marianne as the yeller, I don't understand that.
I
I
think
really, I don't understand why they
I
didn't do that.
I think they did that because I think it would have been harder for Jonathan to go under the obstacles.
Oh, that makes sense.
You
That
know,
does
because think
make
about it,
sense.
I think he's like 6'2".
Good Lord, though. I mean, honestly, though, like
Yeah. So,
that girl's voice would drown out everybody else's.
but that's probably why I think he's probably like, I don't want to hurt myself.
True. True.
So, because everybody's getting on their hands and knees, his hands and knees are totally different than everybody else's.
Right.
So, um, it's the verbal challenge basically to tell them what to do, and they have to tell them how to make the puzzle too. I think that's the hardest part. So we,
I didn't think the puzzle was hard. I I'm surprised that no one used the clock method of like 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Because you
yeah,
could tell it was a perfectly round puzzle. So that's the first thing I would have done if I would have thought
it's like a
about it.
pizza.
Yeah, it's like a pizza or a clock or a pie or whatever you want to
Yeah.
break it down into. Yeah.
So the orange tribe ends up losing. Taku loses. Yeah, they lose. And it's like they have the last piece and they're putting it in. It was really close.
Yes, it was
At
super,
least,
super close by
at least it
second.
was edited like that. You never know.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So, so it's a 5-person tribe because Jackson already left. Daniel set out for Vati. Nobody set out for Aika that challenge. So
Right.
we get to the island, and it comes apparent that like Mariah's probably gonna go.
That's pretty much, I thought the same thing when I watched it. I was like, wow, they're really they're showing a lot of her all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I mean, like, because they had all the beginning of the episode to highlight on Mariah, and I think that's what they should have done was taken her like character moment and putting it more toward the beginning of the episode. And I think it would have done better hiding it. But yeah, I knew
yeah.
as soon as they lost that she was gonna
The
go.
beginning of the episode, we had like one confession where she talking shit about Marianne, how she couldn't stand her personality
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And then we don't hear another thing from her until like till after the challenge, and then we're like, I'm like, oh god, she's going home.
Well, and also that, Jonathan said like 4 times during the episode, like, I really like Marianne. I really
I
like
like
Marianne.
Marianne.
I like
Why would I?
Marianne.
Why would I vote Marianne off? I like her.
Yep.
So I'm aligned with Lindsay and Omar. So why would I vote off? And why I the only one I'm not connected with is Mariah. So they go tribal. It's pretty boring. Nothing
Oh
exciting
yeah.
comes out of this tribe. And to her credit, she used a shot in the dark. So first two
Mhm.
tribals, two shot
Shot
in
the
dark.
guard. Yep.
Correct move. She was nothing she could have done. She's voted out
I agree.
unanimously. So that part was like I said, but we got to see Jonathan pretty much run the show. He
Yes,
got Omar and Lindsay
Jonathan,
together.
huge episode for Jonathan. This was
Mhm.
also a big episode, I feel like, for Marianne a little bit because she was able to, I mean, she was saved this
Yeah.
episode, you know. I also think it was a big episode for High. So
Oh yeah, because
the
he
fish
ate
part of it, yeah, he
yeah.
ate some fish. She's vegan. Well, not
um
fish, but seafood,
yeah.
crab.
We also Daniel is playing with a separated shoulder. He got his shoulder popped back in.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
crazy.
first
There's just a
challenge.
lot to cover. And
A lot happened.
yeah.
But like, all right, so if you had to rank, like, say, give me like top 3 winner potential out of the first 2 episodes, what would you say?
If I had to pick a 3, I would say Omar, Drea, and Daniel. Those are probably my 3 right now. I think Omar got a really good edit this season, and I think they really highlighted him and Jonathan's relationship. So I think that Omar has a really good chance.
So my 3 right now, I would say Daniel's number one, Jonathan's number two, and I would say Swati is number three for
Really?
me. Her, we didn't talk about this, but Drea approached Tori and Swati about a woman's
All
thing,
girls.
and she told us that I got an extra vote, guys. Da da da. And as
Right.
soon as she leaves, Swati's like, "Hey, why don't we just vote Drea out?"
For real. She was like going around doing all these things. Let's just go.
And when she said that, my blood started pumping. I'm like, yes,
Finally.
please. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, are they going to tribal again? Are we going to see a blindside with two advantages? Oh, I was getting so
Thought of it too
excited.
good to be true at that point.
Yeah. So, but I just think she has been involved with the important conversations on that tribe.
She is. She's smart and she's
Yeah.
young.
And she obviously has the trust of Roxroy.
Yes.
Tori trusts her. And I think Andrea trusts her.
Yeah.
And so that's majority of the tribe. I think Romeo went from maybe being the head of the tribe to being at the bottom by voting off Zach.
See, I'm worried about Tori going because I like Tori and I think that she could be good for this game and the story of the game. And it'd be a shame if she went early.
See, I don't think she's in. So I just think Drea is going to be so blinded by the woman thing, it's going to get her in trouble.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit. I think so. I think Dre is smart enough to know to read the room and do
Yeah.
something about it, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, overall, I think I
How do
like.
you feel like comparing to 41 so far?
Okay. Um, the things I liked about 41, I liked about this. The things I didn't like about 41, I did not like about this.
Sure.
I did not like I don't think the rice thing is necessary. Um I think giving them rice really doesn't affect the game. It might hurt it, to be honest.
I agree.
Um the summit thing, I don't need that.
See, I like the summit.
See, I can take that away. That don't
Mhm.
bother me none. Um
I don't really care for the Shipwheel Island part of it, but I do like, you know, here are two people from another tribe. Take the next half an hour to get to know them. I
See,
like that.
I'd much rather have that than have the ship wheel in it.
Yeah, me too.
See, that's my issue with it is that
Remember Gabon when they had like they had like the like Sugar Shack? You could
yeah,
like go and like eat fruit and like be in a little hammock. Like that's what they needed for this. They needed it's a reward to meet someone else from the other tribe and be able to talk with them and indulge on food.
right.
Hmm.
Uh, I think that would have been more entertaining than the all these advantages coming into play.
I
We don't
agree.
need 200 advantages in a season.
Right.
Um, I think the cast, I think overall is better than 41, and I liked 41's cast. I think,
Yeah. I think
I think,
casting both seasons have been out of the park. And I think that
yeah,
a lot of characters from both seasons could have been interchangeable.
yeah. I think,
I can definitely tell the style they're doing now.
I think there's more duds on 41 than 42. But I
Yeah.
think I think there was two or three characters that was above and beyond everyone
And the
else.
deaths are going early, it seems.
Yeah, like I think Zach wasn't a dud, but Mariah was, I'd say, kind of a
Yeah.
dud. We didn't get much from her.
No,
Even Jackson, who left early, we got a lot from him before he left.
I agree.
Uh, and then everybody else has gotten their little time. I think I think everyone else has gotten their
It's a
time.
pretty
Lindsay
even
got her,
cast
yeah.
overall.
Lindsay got her time. Jonathan, Marianne, Omar. I got everybody on their tribe got their moments in these first two episodes.
Hmm.
Romeo, Tori, Drea, Roxroy, Swati. Roxroy didn't get nothing this episode,
Did I
so
noticed that?
so but
Sign of time.
he definitely had his moments in the first episode and he rubbed people the wrong way. And in the Vati tribe, I think this like everybody on this tribe like are hits.
Yeah.
I think Jenny's biggest issue is that she's so quiet, and that might cause her to lose the game.
It could be her edit too, remember?
Yeah. Yeah. Because last season Heather got a really bad edit
Right,
apparently.
that's true.
So yeah, overall I think this cast is deeper. And
Yes.
I just think Ricard, Shan were up here where the other cast members were really good, but those two were just up here.
Right. And this season it's a little bit more broad across the board for different reasons.
Right, right. And
Yes.
not saying that somebody on this cast can't stick out more than the rest of them, but it just shows that how deep this cast is that we've gotten a moment with I think everybody else who's left in the
We
game.
have at least a little bit.
Yep.
Or a
So
funny moment or something.
right, a segment or something like
Right.
there's nobody who's got a purple edit right now. Like who
No.
hasn't been seen once.
Chanel a little bit.
Chanel a little bit, yes. Chanel a little bit, but I think she's more cerebral and quiet, kind of like
Yeah.
how Erica was last season.
Yes, I agree with that.
How she's smarter than she probably perceives right away.
Yeah, that
But
she lets on.
yeah, but her personality doesn't scream off the screen.
Right.
Because Erica's personality never screamed off the screen.
No.
But she was really smart about the game, and you were able to see that
her position in the game.
You were able to see that throughout the game at certain points of the game, and I feel like she's gonna be edited the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Where because you don't really get a lot of character moments with Erica last season.
No, not really.
I
mean a little bit with the hourglass part of it, and then a little bit with with the whole
her and Heather thing was cool.
Yeah, her and Heather's thing. They talked about that a lot more at Tribal than they showed in the edit, and I think that's what hurt them.
Yeah, and
the Survivor show in general.
They obviously got together like on day 2 or something, and we really should have been shown that.
Yeah, I agree.
Like all of a sudden we got to merge.
They did it all.
All of a sudden we got to merge, and they were a duo all of a sudden. So knowing that would have been cool. But yeah, I think she's gonna be kind of like Erica. Like I think they might there's a chance that she might be the Erica this season.
Right.
Where she's very cerebral.
I can see that too. And but they did the same edit twice. That's what I was thinking too.
I don't know because you never know. You know, right. Survivor is one of those shows that Survivor and Big Brother are like, we're gonna do us.
Right.
And sometimes it's to the detriment of the show. So you never know. Well, overall, I think this season's gonna be good. I just really hope we dodge the hourglass twist, the do or die twist.
See, I hate the do or die twist. I hope they don't bring it back.
I hope they don't bring the just find a random note to get advantage of at the next challenge twist that can be taken out. Like those three those three twists right there don't need to be in the game. If those three we get to merge and those three aren't in there, it makes for a better season.
And no, I don't mind twist if they also are great with the personality of the game. You know what I mean? If we have like a rivalry in the season, we'll say we have a rivalry in the season, okay? The season is real heavy, real part of the story, and you get to a point of an advantage where there's an idol or something or some type of knowledge is power or something, and one of them just dupes the other one or just completely slices their throat because of that advantage. That's what I love about an advantage. You know what I mean? But when you have half the advantages that get wasted or not played or played wrong, it's not fun to watch, especially when there's 12 advantages in the game and over half of them are that way.
I think so. I don't mind a twist. I don't mind an advantage being played or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the hourglass twist last season literally made the first quote unquote merge episode matter to nothing.
Yeah, I remember going over it like that.
It mattered to nothing.
I do remember that.
And then we get to the next episode. And look, I know people hold it against Erica, but like the only reason why she was in such trouble was because she was gone.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't her fault that she didn't.
You removed her from the situation, and then you're mad because she wasn't able to hold her ground.
Yeah.
Coming back, and it's not her fault.
Mean, can you blame the other contestants and be like, let's just get rid of the person that's not here?
No.
So so it's you never know what would have happened if that twist wasn't involved. You never know.
Could be in a whole
Survivor
different game.
couldn't have no different game could have ended up the same. You never know. Um, but yeah, I just don't want those twists in the game. The hourglass twist just took up an episode and it mattered to nothing. The do or die twist was dumb and it prevented a vote and kind of screwed over Ricard. Ricard got screwed over by a couple of bad twists at the end. But overall, as long as they keep casting this way and they minimize the twist, I'll be happy.
Me too. I agree. I like the new feel. I like the new feel of it. I think that the casting has always been for at least the past, I would easily say 10 years of Survivor has been the shaky part of it. Ever since Heroes versus Villains, I feel like we have had very few 100% dynamite cast. And I wouldn't even say that 41 was 100% dynamite cast, but I do feel good about the cast of 42, and I think that this could be. And we've heard rumors that 42 is even better than 41, and so far I could see that.
Yeah. I think some of the best casts since Heroes versus Villains are like Dave versus Goliath, Millennials versus Gen X, um, but then uh, Kagian, of course.
Yeah, Cogdion, obviously.
Yeah. But those are probably the three that stand out as
Yeah,
newbie casts. Um, but yeah, I agree. They've had some shoddy casting in the
very.
past. So I think I like the direction they're going in. As long
Me
as they
too.
casting wise, as long as they can get these twists out of their head, they don't need a million twists. They need two, maybe three a season.
See, I don't like as many like the three-way idols. Like I don't like that. You losing your vote is such a big deal. And
Yeah,
and this is my thing too, is like there's an advantage in the game to take someone's vote away that you have to earn. And for you to just have your vote taken away for like however many rounds, like that's like getting an advantage played on you every single round. That's rough to navigate. Xander was able to do it, but I bet Xander is one of the few in the futures of Survivor that's able to do it.
well, I mean, he only had to go to one tribal without a vote.
Yeah,
So really, his dodging it was him not losing challenges.
facts.
Uh, it's just it's I don't like it because you have these dumb phrases. Like they're so dumb.
Yeah.
Like come on. Why can't it be like something like this like more common than what they had to say? And
I
by
don't like
doing
dumb
that,
phrases at
everybody
all.
knows where all the idols are, and that's no fun
If
either.
you're gonna have them do dumb phrases, at least have them do a Survivor. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, what does soccer have to do with Survivor? Absolutely fucking nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. So why don't I think the last time soccer had anything to do with Survivor was Survivor Africa. Like, I just don't. I don't get the phrases about stuff that doesn't have pertain to the show.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that was about covers it. Hopefully, it keeps getting better. Episode 2 is definitely worse than episode 1.
But it's because episode 1 is a premiere.
That's true. It was such it was written on the wall as soon
Yeah.
as they lost the challenge. Mariah was going home. Uh, also, shout out to Tony Ford. Great drafting. He drafted the
Yeah.
first, the second, and the third boot.
Way to go, buddy.
I
You're
think
supposed to be my Survivor fantasy partner, which we like the same people, and look what's happened.
I don't think he understood the assignment.
I think the Simon understood him.
Yeah, he definitely did not do very
Very
well.
accurate. Sadly.
So Tony is out of the draft. He got the first, second, and third boot. And technically, I was right about Jackson. Now I didn't know he was going to move medevac, but I did say he had first boot written all over
Whatever.
him. But I think that's does it for us. Um, we'll be doing episode 3 hopefully this week or figure something out.
I kind of like these 2 episode blocks
Yeah.
because we can kind of play off each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But all right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys for watching, listening. Give us a like, subscribe means a lot.
Mhm.
Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.